Hello and welcome, Sudoku friends, to the 23rd of November and today's New York Times Hard Sudoku puzzle. It's 10 a.m. where I am at, and therefore it is Sudoku time. This is a hard puzzle, and we're going to see how this one goes. We see a couple of nines blocking all of these four squares here. And we have this 9 blocking this square in addition to those. So this must be a 9. And this must be a 2. And this must be a 2 because this 2 blocks up here and this 2 blocks across here. So one of these is going to be a 2. This 2 goes to 2, as it were, blocks across here. This 2 blocks across here, and this 2 blocks up here. So here's a 2. So all that means is that we're going to have a 2 either here or here now. We're going to have an 8 here or here, because this 8 blocks across here, this 8 blocks up here. One of these is an 8 blocking across. So 8 blocking across here and here gives me an 8 here or here. We are having a 9 event going on here because this 9 blocks across, this 9 blocks down. So here's a 9. Now we have these 2 9s blocking across here, and this 9 blocking down. So it's clear that a 9 must go here. Now we have these 2 9s blocking these 5 squares, and this 9 blocks these 3 squares. So a 9 goes here, and I believe what must be the last 9 for today goes here, because of this 9 and this 9 blocking across and this 9 blocking down. So yes, the last 9 for today goes here. That was without thinking, without analyzing, just spotting singles. And I assume that now the real work commences. We'll have to wait and see. I'm seeing now that this 8 blocks up. One of these is an 8. And we also have an 8 blocking over here and an 8 blocking down. So an 8 will end up in one of these 2 positions. We can place a 7 in row 5 because this 7 blocks here and this 7 blocks here. So a 7 must go here. These must now be a 4 and a 6. And I don't know what to do about that, so I won't do anything. But I will enter a 7 here now because this 7 blocks across. This 7 blocks across. We found this 7 which blocks here. So here's a 7. Now we have 7s blocking these 4 squares. So a 7 goes here or here. And since this 7 blocks this square and this 7 blocks this square, we now know that one of these 2 positions is going to be a 7. And we also know that this must be a 1 because this 1 blocks here. This 1 blocks here. We still need a 1 for the row, and therefore it has to go here. I wonder if this is all we can do for the time being. 2, 3, and 8 for these squares. 2 blocks down, 3, no. Oh, we only have the 1, 3 in the grid, I'm just realizing. Well, that's interesting. A small extra challenge for us. We are seeing this 8 blocking across, so it's clear that an 8 goes either here or here along with the 8 here or here, right? So 8 blocks over, 8 blocks over, 8 blocks down. One of these is an 8. We also need to find a 4 and a 3 for the row, and I have no idea where to put those. But we can begin to see the outlines of a solution. We have a 5 and a 7 here, and we need a 5 and a 7 for 2 of these 3 squares of 5. The top row looks interesting. We need to find 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 5, 1. This is a 4 or a 6. 3, 5. Can we do anything across here for a 3 and a 5? No, not really. 5, 6, 1, 3, 4. 6 must go here or here. So, but there's really nothing that tells me which of these 4 squares must be a 6 in row 3. So I think I'm barking up the wrong tree right now. I need to focus on something else, which is more promising. We are very close to having a 2 and a 5 isolated down here, but not quite. We have a 2 and a 5 blocking these squares. We have a 2 and a 5 blocking this square. So a 2 and a 5 must go in these 2 squares in some order. And I can't really get any closer to that, but it tells me that these can't be 2 and 5. They must be a 3, 4, 6, and a 7. So that tells me that a 6 goes down here somewhere, and therefore up here in one of these 3 squares. A 4 is restricted to either of these 2 positions because of this 4 blocks here and this 4 blocks here and here. The 7 is more loose. None of these can be a 7, but we have 3 possible solutions for a 7 in the column, so that's no good either. I think I said we only had 1 3 in the grid. I'm just spotting this 3 as well, so my apologies. We have all of 2 3s in the grid. Not that it makes it much more easy, except the 3 blocks over here and this is 3 blocks up. One of these is a 3 blocking down. We know that one of these must be a 3. So let me examine the upper chute again. What do we know? We need 4 more numbers for block 3. We need a 1, 4, 6, 8. So a 1 and an 8 block here. So this is a 4 or a 6. And actually this cannot be a 4 because we have a 4 blocking over here and 4 blocking up here. One of these must be a 4. So this is not a 4 or a 6. It's a plain old 6. Here now we are looking for a 1, 4 and an 8. We have an 8 and a 4 blocking across. So here's a 1. These must be a 4 and an 8 in some order. Can we do more with the 1s? The 1 blocks down and up and over. 1 goes here or here. Row 2 is interesting now because we need to find a 2, 5, 6 and an 8. And we have a 2, 5 and a 6 all blocking this square. It must be an 8. Now this 8 blocks here. This 8 blocks here. So an 8 must go here. And here we're looking for a 2 and a 3. The 2 blocks down. Here's a 3 and here's a 2. What does that tell us except that one of these must be a 2? Let me look at these 3 squares. They must be a 1, 7 and a 4. 1 blocks over here. 7 must go here or here. So this is a 1, 4. Can we get any closer? 4 blocks up and over. I don't really think so. Here a 1, 5 and a 3. Also not so certain, but we can place a 6 here because we have these 6s blocking up here and we have this 6 blocking here. So the 6 goes here. These 2 must be a 2 and a 5. We can place those because the 5 blocks up, giving me a 2 here and a 5 here. We have this 2 blocking down. We have this 2 blocking up. We have these 2s blocking here and here. So the 2 for column 2 goes here. Row 9 is still pretty bare, but sometimes because of intersecting rows and columns, we can find some goodies. It's a little difficult to remember 6 numbers, but let's give it a try. Remember how we said that 2 and 5 must go in these 2 squares? So in reality, we only need to concern ourselves with these squares. They can't be 2 and 5. There must be a 3, 4, 6 and a 7. We have a 3 and a 6 blocking down now. We didn't have that earlier when we talked about these 4 squares, but now we know that this is a 4 or a 7. We know that a 7 must go here, here or here. The 4 can go here or here or here. The 3 can only go here or here. So This is a 2, 5, remember? 3 blocks down here. So these 3 squares can't be 3. This 3 blocks down here. This can't be 3. A ghost 3 up here blocks down here. This can't be 3. So a 3 must go here. Now we have a 6, 4, 7 triple here. And we now just need a 6, 4, and an 8 for these squares. That is a little tricky. We have an 8 blocking over here, so this is a 4, 6. 6 blocks over, this is a 4, 8. This is anybody's guess. But we found the 3. But I think we can do something about these 3 squares. Let's recap. They must be a 4, 6, and an 8, remember? Let's look at this 6 over here first. That means that one of these must be a 6, right? Because these are 2 and 5. And ergo, this square can't be a 6. This 6 blocks here. So this must be a 6. And these 2 squares now must be a 4 and an 8 pair. And we are going to have a 6 in one of these 2 squares. And it's clear that this must be a 4. This 4 gives me an 8 here and a 4 here. We now have an 8 blocking down and another 8 blocking down. So in theory, an 8 could go here or here. However, this 8 blocks here. So this square can't be an 8. The only square that can be an 8 in row 7 is right here. Now we need a 4, 7, and a 3 to complete this row. We have a 4 and a 7 blocking here. So here's a 3. Here's a 4, 7. And I think we already agreed that one of these had to be a 7. Therefore, this can't be a 7. Ergo, it must be a 4. And the 7 belongs here. This 7 blocks down. This 7 blocks up. Here's a 7. A 7 now must go in one of these 2 positions in row 4. The last empty square here must be a 5, which blocks over. This 5 blocks down, giving us this 5 here. Now we have this 5 and this 5 blocking these 2 squares, and this 5 blocks here. So a 5 must go here in row 1. These must be a 1, 3, and a 4. We have a 1 and a 4 blocking here, so here's a 3. We have a 4 blocking here, so here's a 4. And this must be a 1, and this must be a 3. This square can only be a 6. And this, of course, must be a 1. Which blocks down? This 1 blocks down. This 1 blocks across. Here's a 1. And here we have our 7, which blocks across. This 7 blocks down, giving me a 7 here, and therefore an 8 here, and an 8 here. And here a 4. Here a 6 and a 4. 4 blocks down. 6 here, 4 here. Here a 5. Therefore, a 5 here. 1 and a 7 here. 7 blocks over, therefore the 1 goes here and the 7 goes here. 1 blocks over and down, 1 here. And a 6 here. 6 blocks down, 6 blocks across, 6 here. Here we need 3, and here we need a 2. Here we must have a 4. 2 and 3 must go in these squares, the 2 blocks down, giving me a 3 here and a 2 here.